Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to episode 225 of Dads from the Crypt. My name is Jason. I'll be your host this evening. I am joined by Mondo.
Hello.
Hello. What you drinking there?
Oh God, Dad beer.
Dad beer.
Perfect. It tastes like Dad. It's not good.
Yeah, it's made with like fermented dad beard.
So there was actually a beer by Rogue Brewing Company called Beer.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy used the yeast that had gotten stuck in his beard over the years to ferment a beer with. I see Martin making a face already. It was fun. It was fun. We talked about it before too. There's a civet coffee beer, like where the weasels eat the coffee fruits and poop them out.
Yeah, Vietnam. That's a big deal in Vietnam, right?
Yeah. McKellar Brewing Company made a beer called Beer Geek Weasel, which was a stout they used that coffee in. Fucking phenomenal.
Dude, I bet. I hear that coffee's amazing. I've never tried it, but everybody talks about that being amazing.
I've tried it once, and it was like a sample of like 1 ounce. Apparently 1 ounce goes for like $30 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Was it worth $30? I don't know. Was it delicious?
You get your own weasel at that point, you know?
Yeah. Buy your own weasel, grow some coffee beans, and harvest your own poop. It'd be easier.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe other poop tastes good too. But there's a.
I'm not going to find out.
I mean, you can do that experiment on your own.
But my buddy Paul sent me a message today, and there's a brewery out of the Pacific Northwest, and I'm over here killing time while I try to look this up. And it's by Breakside Brewing and Columbia Sportswear. It's a collaboration. They're making a bear poop infused beer. And this is one of those cases where just because you can doesn't mean
yeah.
There's a bear poop in the beer.
They made Rocky Mountain oyster beer. If you guys know what those are,
I do.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, dude. Can we just make fucking beer?
I think that's what we're getting to. Disgusting beer recipes. Also, I feel like the word infused is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sense. It's really just like shit in beer, essentially.
Yeah, like goddamn it. But someone's gonna fucking go out of their way to check into that shit literally on Untapped instead of just saying, you know what, I'll just have the delicious tasting crisp Pilsner or the crisp IPA. No, they're gonna have.
It seems like some quick thinking happened after an accident occurred, you know? And they're like, infused.
Or after too many beers.
A bear got into the brewery.
Exactly.
Who thinks of that though? Who's like just out in the wild? You know what? Like, will someone hiking be like, you know what? I just saw a bear shit in the woods, and maybe that'd make a good beer.
Man, did that make me thirsty?
Yeah. Some guy in acid in the woods being like, you'll never guess the idea I just had. I'm like, yeah, I never would have guessed you had that idea. You are correct.
All right. Also joining us is Jody, looking all comfy.
Well, I'm wearing my Friday the 13th Snuggie or whatever it's called, a slanket, I've heard. Because it's like it's in the teens in Tennessee. I live in the South. We are not supposed to get this cold, but it has been this cold for like 2 weeks now. We single digits, ice everywhere. Lucky I have power tonight. A lot of people actually don't have power from last week still. So yeah, I'm trying to stay warm.
Another reason for people to join our go to our YouTube to see Jody all cuddly. If you missed Mondo in his robe last week, Jody's
I was showing plenty of chest last week. I didn't realize how much chest I was showing, but I was comfy.
All right. And then we have a very, very special guest tonight. We have Martin from Blitz Berlin, the composers behind such scores as from the Deathstalker remake, Queens of the Dead, and Psycho Goreman. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is great. 3 dads. Look at you guys.
All amazing movies, too.
I was going to say, every one of those movies is awesome.
Man, especially, I mean, Deathstalker and Psycho Goreman are great shout-outs. And there's a couple of the other Steve Kostansky movies that we've had the pleasure of scoring that, like, those are the most fun as you can imagine. Like, they're as fun to make as they are to watch. They're
That's
just...
awesome.
No, I want to know.
Yeah.
For Deathstalker, were you like in studio with Slash, or was he doing his own thing?
Well, sort of, yeah. We weren't sitting in the room next to him, but when we got brought onto that project, that was one of the first questions we asked, was just like, you know, Slash is producing, but we've worked on films with celebrity producers before, and that doesn't always mean that they're like really hands-on involved, you know. Sometimes it's more of like a marketing thing or something. So we asked, like, can I talk to him? And they're like, sure. So we got on a Zoom and chatted through the movie, and he was just like the most kind of positive and excited and like really wanting, he was really, I don't know, making us feel inspired to work on it. There was no like rock star ego. He was just really just like, oh, it's gonna be so cool when like the skeleton fight happens, like this sort of stuff. He's just really into it.
That's awesome.
That's so
And
cool.
we rolled the dice and just asked him like, would you play guitar too?
Mhm.
What do you need? Like that chill. So we wrote the score and composed the whole thing, but then I just sent a bunch of parts of it to him with some requests, and he shredded guitar all over that score for us. So it is a
Oh.
collaboration, although maybe not quite in the way you'd imagine. Long distance collaboration to his sweet ass Guns N' Roses studio. And
That's awesome.
That's so cool though, man. Like, God.
it was amazing. Honestly,
And
getting that from him was crazy because he also gave me this other audio file, which is like 20 minutes long, and it's just sitting in front of his amp, just kind of like going for it. Like not to a specific part of the movie, but just giving me a lot of sound effects and stuff to work with.
Okay.
Slash like tapping and shredding as fast as he can and doing crazy scrapes and dive bombs and bends and all this like insane stuff, which barely sounds like guitar sometimes. And that's all over the score too. It kind of gives it that like heavy metal energy that Deathstalker kind of needs, you know?
that's badass.
Awesome.
I've always, I mean, just down to earth musicians are some of the best people. Like,
Yeah.
I think I might have talked about this years ago. Don't ask me how I ended up on this panel of judging a Guitar Center King of the Blues competition, but I was a guest judge. I was a judge with Les Warner, the drummer of the Cult. and
Whoa.
and I was
Unreal.
like, and here's this guy who works at Apple. and but just like the most down to earth guy, and like opened his doors up to me and like let me use his studio and stuff like that. Like they're like, but Slash like seems like I mean he loves Deathstalker obviously,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just he loves comic books and just loves the genre. It's like he's just one of us. That
100%, man.
He was even on the Tales from the
guitar
Crypt
player.
episode. Like,
Yeah.
he's a
Oh,
true
that's
one
right.
of us.
Yeah. No, he's genuinely, that's the sense I got from him is he's really like, he's a genuine horror fan and genre fan, but he is also like super knowledgeable about it. Like, I think he is literally in his spare time, like watching these kind of movies and reading comic books and stuff. And he was such a champion for getting Deathstalker made even in the first place.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I got nothing but good things to say. He was wonderful to work with.
That's so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I
But then you
gonna
also
note-
do like a movie like Queens of the Dead, which is a
Mhm.
total like tonal shift as far as musical genres.
Mm.
How is it like transversing those worlds?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty different worlds for sure. And both those films we scored last year are not that far apart from each other, too. And they, I mean, not only are they different worlds, they're like so different that I don't know if like one note of either store could like work in the other one. Like Queens has that, you know, there's obviously nods to the classic John Harrison stuff and Romero scores throughout the years.
Yes.
But there's also, you know, just this like up tempo dance, electronic synthy kind of element to it. Whereas Deathstalker is wall to wall, like as epic as possible. And the references were like John Williams and the Doom score. So it was like, we're trying to find the halfway between Mick Gordon and classic Williams or Elfman or something. So jumping between those, to me, that's like a really fun thing about this job because it keeps your brain fresh as well. Sometimes projects can take a really long time, and there's definitely an advantage to like living in one world and just like sinking into the vibe and like living and breathing it for a few months. But after a while too, you start to get sick of your own ideas. So it's kind of nice to be able to like, I can't write another choir part right now. Like all my ideas suck. I've run out of anything good. So instead I'm going to make this like really toe tapping electronic dance thing. And then this will feel fresh again when I come back. So we try to turn that into a strength. Probably also very helpful that we have three of us working on these things together.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like a Hydra working on different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from writers. I remember James Cameron was talking about when he was like trying to write Aliens, and then he was also like trying to write T2, I think it was, and like a couple other of his movies that he was working at the same time. He would just like have like different desks with different projects, and you just go from one to another depending on what ideas he had.
Yeah, it honestly can be kind of effective if you manage to juggle it well, because it kind of feels like you're weaponizing your own procrastination. 'Cause you're like, oh, I don't want to do this one today. So, and then the thing that you're procrastinating with is also something you have to get done. So when it works, that works pretty nicely.
Yeah, no, I mean the music and all of these, like, you know, Queens of the Dead was really, really fun, and it's such an integral part of the movie. It's like you know, when the music becomes another character.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that was so fun, and Tina was so good to work with. And really from the get-go, she had a very clear vision that she gave us, but then also she's one of those great directors who is also just like a great leader in the way that she is going to keep everything on track and make sure the movie turns out great. but is really giving all of her collaborators like a lot of room to do their thing and feel very free in what they're doing. She's really encouraging in that way. So we had our marching orders, but then just kind of made a bunch of stuff. And then she had like almost very little notes after that. She was kind of like, I love all this stuff. Here's how I think it should go together. And it became collaborative and just kind of, I feel like you can feel that in the film. The film feels like it was fun to make, and it was.
Yes,
it absolutely does.
Yeah.
We just watched that 2 nights ago because my daughter had never seen it. And they came over for dinner and we put that on and they loved it. And I was like, it's so much, it's a fun movie. But yeah. And you can definitely tell when movies feel like the comedy or the humor in it is being forced versus when it feels like, like everyone on the set is having a great time making this movie.
100%. And since working on it, I've gotten to know the writer, Erin Judge, as well. And like, she's super funny. And just seeing her and Tina kind of the way they banter and riff off each other and stuff. I'm sure the cast was also involved in some of that, but some of the lines that feel the most improvised were in the script. And it's just, Erin does a lot of stand-up comedy and stuff. I think she has a really good sense of the kind of like quippiness, reading each other kind of thing that the film would have. It all feels very playful and very natural, which I think is a strength, and why somebody who maybe isn't super into classic horror movies or something, I think most people can turn it on and just like have a good time with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
What else you got? What else is in the cooker for you?
Well, actually, jumping off that, I did want to mention something about Queens today, because Jason, that's where you and I met, was at the premiere there. And there's actually something pretty fun coming up this week, which is a special event of sorts, and it is going to be we're hoping the first annual of this. So basically what it is the Queens of the Dead soundtrack is finally coming out. It's going to be out on Wednesday, February 4th. But that day is really special because it is George Romero's birthday. Rest in peace. And so I guess I was talking to Tina about this, putting out the soundtrack, and this idea sort of came together where a way to honor his legacy and to kind of put a flag in the grave, so to speak, for the creation of the modern zombie. And I guess when she was a kid, he hated his birthday. So she would always sing to him the unbirthday song. If you guys are familiar with it.
Yeah.
No.
So this is the first annual, very scary unbirthday to George Romero. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff going on February 4th. So all this is being announced right now, but part of it, there's going to be a movie block on IFC and Shudder that is showing Day of the Dead and Queens of the Dead and some others. There's going to be an exclusive t-shirt released on that day too, and the soundtrack will come out, and Fangoria is hosting a whole like live event thing. So February 4th, if you like zombies, there's going to be a bunch of just cool, unique shit going on. And this is like the first year this has happened, so we're hoping to kind of evolve it each year after this. But you guys are the first guys I've talked to about that, so I'm excited.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome. Do you have any information about the live event?
I know that it is at 9:45 p.m. and I think it's via Instagram. Fangoria is going to be hosting it, but it's going to be led by Tina, and members of the cast and stuff are going to pop in and out. It's going to kind of take the form of like an AMA kind of participatory thing. I think they're going to be giving away some prizes, that sort of stuff. Just as handmade as Queens of the Dead, the film was, and a lot of the classic Romero stuff was, this event is also taking that form. So we're going to kind of see, and it's going to, whatever is going to happen, it's going to be something special. So
that sounds really exciting.
Yeah. Mark your calendars, Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. Well, another project that you worked on that we're going to talk about tonight is the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Nights.
Yes.
It just hit VOD last week. It was kind of hard to get to a screening. It wasn't as widely distributed as we would have loved. So I'm really excited for people to discover this and get in on the hype train to make it more of a staple for the season. Jody, give us your plot synopsis.
All right. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while because I've been wanting to give Rowan another chance. And
Joe, give us a very quick backstory for people that might not know.
Okay, so Halloween Ends was super disappointing to me. Like it really upset me. And I at the time was talking about Corey being the problem. It's not Corey that is the problem. It is the writing that's the problem. it's not his performance. But anyway, it left a bad taste, and I've been wanting to give him another chance, and this is that chance. And I think
It's been a running joke about Jody's
Yes.
hatred of the character, which translated, by properties of transference to the actor. So we've been kind of joking around about it, that we're going to get.
Yeah, I know.
Rowan's
I
autograph
genuinely
with
don't
Jody
have
and-
anything against Rowan Campbell. I just like to say that I do because I didn't like Halloween Ends. I can just say that about David Gordon Green, though. I will say that I didn't like
that.
that.
Yeah, it's a little
It's
more.
his fault. All right. Anyway, so in this movie, so the backstory is kind of revealed as the movie goes in little chunks, but I think it's gonna be easier to talk about it, like what happens chronologically. So just like in the original, Billy is traveling with his parents. He goes to see his grandpa. His grandpa tells him that Santa punishes naughty people. And then they get stopped by a Santa who kills both of the parents. Same thing as the first movie. What's different here is instead, spoilers abound.
Heavy spoilers.
Yeah, there's no way to talk about this without talking spoilers, even because this is revealed at like hour and a half. I mean, like an hour mark, what's actually going on. Billy touches the Santa Claus's hand that had killed his parents. And in that moment, it is transferred to Billy, the voice of that Santa Claus, Charlie, who sticks with him and tells him what to do. And instead of being an evil Santa, he is a killer Santa, but he is a Avenger kind of Santa. He kills only bad people, and Charlie speaks to him and helps direct him to who he is supposed to kill. Okay, he's been doing this for years, and each day he puts a little spot of blood in like an advent calendar to mark it. It's only at Christmas time, and then the rest of the time he's just normal. Okay, so you got all that. Billy's been living transient life for years. He's been doing these, 25 murders every year. Charlie has told him if he misses a day, a good person will die. So, Billy has to make sure and murder someone every day in that Christmas season. All right. So he ends up in a small town of Hackett, where he has recently killed somebody. And he gets a job at Ida's toy store, or Ida's Trinkets. And it's like the toy store, like Ira's in the first movie. And there he meets the owner's daughter, Pam, or Pammy, as some people call her when they want to annoy her. But they start a relationship, and they get to know each other. Billy continues killing people. He kills a guy who's real handsy with Pam, and you think that's why he kills him, but then we find out later that man has murdered his wife, and so that's why he deserved to die. There is a soccer mom, or I guess it's a hockey mom, who's really mean to her kid playing sports. And so Charlie says she's next. You think that's why, because she's mean. But then we find out she is a Nazi, and there's a party for a bunch of Nazi Santa Clauses all together. And Billy says, you know what? We got to kill all of them. And so Billy goes on a killing spree with an axe with about 30 Nazi Santa Clauses. Fantastic stuff. So because Billy is getting comfortable with Pam, he skips a day. He's just happy being with her. And unfortunately, what that means is throughout the whole movie, we hear about the kids disappearing. There's someone called the Snatcher. And Pam's dad, who owns the store, sees a kid in the back of a car, goes to try to help him, and gets murdered. So Pam's dad is dead. And she wants vengeance. And Billy's like, well, actually, I can help you out. He explains his whole backstory, and Pam is 100% in. She's like, okay, murder tons of people, serial killer every year. Cool. I'm fine with that. And so they hunt down the killer. There's a bunch of kids in a big giant ball pit down in the floor of the killer's hideout. And Billy and the killer end up down in there, or Billy and the Snatcher end up down in there. And Snatcher is killed, but Billy gets stabbed. As Billy is leaving, Pam's ex-boyfriend, Max, who is a cop and an asshole, finds Billy and shoots him a bunch of times. And Billy is laying there dying. And at that point, Charlie tells him to touch Pam's hand. They touch hands. The transfer happens again. And then Pam is able to see who Max really is. Max has been helping the Snatcher the entire time. He is a bad guy. So it's his time to go, and Pam takes him out. And then we hear that Billy is now in her head, and she is the new Avenger. It's the Santa Claus, but with blood and accents. So, yeah, great twist on the story, I think.
Thank you, Jody. All right, Martin, you are our guest. So tell us what you think about this movie, and also how do you score a Nazi massacre?
Yeah, man. This movie was a blast to work on, and you know what's funny? Actually, hearing you speak all the plot points like that, somehow the entire time working on it, I never thought about the very clear parallel to my mom's favorite movie being the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen. The lore of this Santa isn't actually that different. If you kill him, you become him essentially, or passes on to you in some way. That's interesting. But yeah, what a fun movie. The big violent stuff in the movie, Mike had a vision for off the bat, and a lot of it was less about scoring or creating big epic pieces of violent music. It was more striking this unique tone for the movie where there's going to be a lot of tension leading up to these big moments like the Nazi massacre, white power Christmas party thing. Building up to that, there's a lot of intense different music cues overlapping and stuff, and you get the tension. But then he goes and locks the door and pulls out his axe, and he's ready to start killing. And it pretty much just flips into like a feel-good toe-tapping Christmas song that isn't ours. That's like a pre-recorded sort of thing. So a lot of the most violent stuff in the movie is set against that sort of tongue-in-cheek stuff until we get to the ending and it gets a little more serious with the Snatcher and Max and all that. But for the most part, it was about like building a lot of tension and then using a lot of restraint on our end, just like pulling way back and letting the scenes play that way. It also leaves a lot more room for really brutal sound effects when there's just like a vintage Christmas song, which takes up like this much space in the mix, so that every like gut-wrenching axe chop is just like hitting the subwoofers, and there's like on a technical level it makes those scenes kind of more gruesome but also a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
And were you a fan of the original before working on this? Were you like pumped to work on the remake?
Sort of. I mean, the original came out long before I guess before I was born actually. So I came to it much later in life and always thought it was like this quirky, insane movie. I won't lie, it's not the kind of thing where I was like, my goal in life is to work on the sequel for this. But when I heard that Mike was working on one and then read the script, it was like an instant like, oh my god, we have to do this. Because to me, the concept of the original is fun and everything, but I think Mike elevated it a lot in this way where there's no shade to the original whatsoever, but this new one, it has this sort of Dexter-y quality to it where it feels like it's less about like revenge and trauma and stuff, and it kind of feels more like, I don't know, he's this avenging angel or something, and you really root for a lot of the killing, which to me was a fun take on this inevitably, kind of nod to the camera sort of franchise move. So it could have been done, I think, a lot of different ways, rebooting this or creating a new entry. And it could have gone the like extremely serious traumatic slasher route, which I personally probably would have been like less interested in. But this felt like a fresh take. And Mike is such a passionate storyteller with this stuff. I really trusted him to just like make something that was going to be really enjoyable to watch and really fun to work on. So definitely from reading the script, I was like, hell yeah, we got to do this.
Nice. All right, Mondo.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I love this movie. And I think, I think 100% you hit the nail on the head. That it's such a 180 from the original. In that I love that you get this, it starts out exactly the same and you get that same build up, but then they go a completely different direction, because it would have been really easy to make the exact same movie and it would have been a nasty little slasher and I probably still would have enjoyed it. But the fact they went this route with it and you find yourself rooting for the killer, and he's obviously the main character and kind of the narrator of this movie, and you're rooting through him through the whole thing, even though he's got this weird voice in the back of his head. It puts a fresh take, a fresh coat of paint on something that's been done a million times. The kills were still gruesome though, and they still gave you those really gruesome kills. And even though he's the dark avenger or whatever, like, or the dark passenger or whatever, he's still violent He's still angry, and he's going to make these people pay for being terrible human beings.
Mhm.
And I love that reveal. I love the flashbacks to seeing these people doing these terrible things. And I like at the end when spoiler again, we already talked about spoilers, but when the cop guns him down and you're thinking, oh, please don't let that guy survive, because he's already an asshole earlier in the they don't really show how bad of a person he is, but they just give you these little breadcrumbs that everybody knows that person or has known that person in life, that gives him that weird vibe. And later on you find out, oh yeah, Jim does meth and robbed a church.
Sure.
You're like, yeah, there's some shit Jim would do. Yeah. That does seem like something he would do. And they give you that with this. And then I thought the Santa Claus aspect of it, I really loved. Like at the end, I was rooting for these characters. I was invested in these characters, and the fact that he passed himself on, and somehow the scene with and I forgot the voice in his head, Charlie. Like I was like genuinely kind of broken up by Charlie telling him goodbye and saying like, I have to leave now. Like this has been my time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss Charlie. this is kind of heart wrenching. And I thought they did such a good job with the movie. And anytime you put on screen, what they call it? They call it a white power Christmas event.
Yeah.
Anytime you put that on screen and have a bunch of fucking Nazis getting murked up, I'm gonna have a big smile on my face and enjoy it. And that was great. I love the other piece they did in that too, with they picked the actress that played the Ilsa type character. I thought was perfect, because she had that classic Aryan look, and the fact that she doesn't even give a shit that she's gonna gun down half of her own kind to get this one person. That's the white supremacist mentality, folks. I think at this point in our podcast, listeners, we've rooted out anybody down on that side. I think
we're sure.
Them, and
That's
I'm okay
good.
with that.
If you're still here, why?
Yeah.
What are you getting out of this?
Like, are you just an angry person? That's okay. Anybody that's still a white supremacist that's listening to this, they just love humiliation. They're jerking off to it at this point. That's all that's happening.
Yeah, you can't account for those.
I mean, if somebody wants to hate watch us, I'll take the views and the listen. Sure.
But no, quick, tell me again, I'm a terrible person. Gotta finish. Anyhow, a great enough of an homage to the original. With the pieces and the building blocks they put in place, but so great that it stands on its own. And I don't think you need to watch the original to watch this. I think you can enjoy them stand side by side. And I don't think I like this as much as the original, but I think that has to do more so of the times in life when I saw them. The original I saw when I was like 16 or 17. In the early 2000s, 2001. And I think it affected me because I love the nasty slasher, but I would put this like right next to it, maybe a hair below it, but that is by no means an insult to this movie. I loved it.
Totally. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I feel like if this movie tried to just redo or outdo the original on its like same merits, then it's just like destined to fail. You're never going to recapture whatever that lightning in a bottle was that makes that movie as janky and as special and everything as it is. So I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I feel like when there is a reboot or a remake or revisiting of a concept or franchise or whatever, I always appreciate it when it is just like, we're going to try something different here. Because whether it works or not, it's still, it's adding something, which I always prefer to trying to just like perfectly recapture something, which never freaking works, you know?
Well, they did do a... Go ahead.
So the original was so nasty because of like people hadn't really explored that killer Christmas yet, and that's what like sent Roger Ebert over the edge. And I think if you tried to match that nowadays, you'd have to go to places that would just feel, for lack of a better term, icky. It would feel like they were being tryhards and just trying to be nasty for the sake of being nasty, and that kind of never works out in my opinion.
Yeah, I've been saying for years that a remake, you shouldn't remake a quote good film, like a really good classic film. You should remake something that has some fan base, but is more of a low key fan base.
Sure.
And then do something better and different with it. Jordy, I we both interrupted you, so go ahead.
That's okay. No, I was going to say they did do. Someone did make a pretty straight remake of this a few years ago. That was just called Silent Night. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything that I remember a ton about. It was exactly what you said. Same concept, just a little nastier. Like that's all they really had to go with. This had a whole different thing. It's a different movie.
Yeah, I appreciate that about it, and I appreciate too. I mean, it was the original producers of this one involved, and this is the only one since the very first one that they've been involved in. So
Oh, cool.
I feel like there's a bit of credibility there too. And speaking of homages, I don't know if you guys probably caught the Garbage Day line in this one, but that's actually spoken by Scott Schneid, who's the producer of the original film. So that's his cameo in there. So
That's cool.
Little love letter to the original there. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I noticed that. And then when he's on the phone, he says, "Hi, Agnes, it's Billy."
Yeah.
Okay, a little Black Christmas.
Yeah,
and then he's
yeah,
playing with a crystal unicorn at one point.
totally.
Yeah.
So I
There's
like
lots
that.
of little, yeah.
I like their little moments, but they didn't call attention to themselves. They weren't like big, like, "Oh, hey, look at this" moments. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
the
it was
member
natural
berries.
in the context.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't devolve into just being like, remember that? Like, and it
Yeah.
doesn't, you can miss all that stuff and still have a good time, which I think is important.
Yeah, I watched this over 2 nights, and I watched like about an hour and 10-ish minutes, and I was like loving it. And I kind of stopped a little bit after the big massacre scene, and then I kind of when I picked it up again, it was right when we got to the whole transference thing, and then that took me out of it for a hot minute. I was like, really? We're going to like this like fantastical thing, and then like it really took me a moment to like reconcile that. But then by the end, it justified that twist, that new flavor, by being able to see the sins of the people. At first, I was just like, oh, they're just transferring this consciousness, and that's what's causing them to kill, yada yada. But then once I saw it actually has a purpose,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, now I get it, that makes sense. So I think just because I broke it up that way, it kind of like caused me to have a moment of pause. But overall, this is definitely one of the best remakes I've seen in a long time. Like I said, it captures a lot of the spirit of the first one while doing plenty of different things. It's a little bit of Dexter, but that's that's okay. The voice I really liked. I kept thinking it was J.K. Simmons.
It sort of sounds like him, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's not, but I was like, okay, fine. There's that movie, I think it's called Glory, where J.K. Simmons plays Glorious. Plays like an eldritch god in the glory hole.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what it's about.
I kept thinking about that movie.
It's hard for me to say whenever I see J.K. Simmons in a role where he's like a nice guy, because my first memory of him was Schillinger in Oz when he plays the head of the Aryan Nation or whatever in prison.
Right.
And then
He's
again,
such a good bad guy. He's great.
Yeah, so good.
Whiplash. I mean,
yeah. Not my tempo.
No. Again, I'd heard about this big massacre scene, and they even released it as a standalone like promo. And I'm like intentionally didn't watch it because I didn't want to be spoiled.
Nice.
And the way the movie was going, I figured the cop was going to be in on this big conspiracy thing. So I was totally taken aback when he's going to meet the hockey mom, and you think it's a strip club.
Yeah.
And they're like even taking guns and stuff at the top. And then when he walks in, he sees the Santas, and he's like has this weird look on his face. You think it's because he's full of Santas, and then you look up and you see the big flags and everything. I was like, oh my god. So even knowing that twist was coming, I really thought it like really still caught me. And I know you guys. I'll take that scene. I think every movie should have that scene.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know you guys saw it on streaming or whatever at home, but I got to attend a couple of the premieres here in Los Angeles, and it was very satisfying to see. It's one of the only films we've ever done that I've been in the theater for that got a standing O in the middle of the movie. Like people were out of their seats yelling at the screen as like these Nazis. As soon as that title card flips up, when he does the like "guns are for pussies" line, and then it's spams "kill Nazis" on screen, like people are hooting and hollering, throwing their popcorn. Like it was a great moment there.
Yeah, there was a special screening. I'm kicking myself for not going to, where they showed the original and then this one back to back. And for what reason I just couldn't make it, but I'm really kicking myself. I really want someone to put that on next Christmas. I would be there in a heartbeat.
I'm hoping that's going to happen with the legacy of this film. I know there's some other plans in the future, nothing concrete that I can discuss, but definitely everybody's hoping that for a sequel to this, and the ending. I mean, I guess we pretty much spoiled anything every way, but the ending pretty clearly is setting it up for like Mrs. Claus arc with Ruby Modine, who is fantastic.
So Ruby Modine was really good, daughter of Matthew Modine. and I was waiting for her to show up as in the Mrs. Claus outfit. I thought that was going to be the ending.
Yeah.
With an
I mean,
axe.
I guess we don't see it yet, but it's implied that that's coming next year, right? So
Yeah, I know.
I'm
but
hoping
that's what I was
so.
like. I was really like, okay, if he was survived, I could just see her showing up like the next day with a
Yes.
Mrs. Claus outfit.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay. For a while, for a while, I thought she was going to be the snatcher because they really hinted at her having some anger issues. I mean, I didn't want her. I was like, I kind of hoping they don't, but the way they were kind of setting things up,
I think her anger issues just help her match Billy's freak, you know?
Yeah. It's
Totally.
saying she understands where he's coming from when he has
Yeah.
the outburst. I didn't think they were setting that up because of the fact that Charlie could see like these people's backstory. He would have seen that.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. It was just I think it was a little misdirection on the movie's part,
Yeah.
which is fine. But I thought she gave a great performance. I kind of love seeing Rowan Campbell just kind of wandering around as like the drifter.
Yeah.
And then he like orders an Amazon package of like 10 Santa Claus outfits.
Yeah.
Can we just say at this point, considering like in Halloween Ends, he's kind of is he a sex symbol now? Because he
Have you
gets
seen
on the
that
girl.
Sabrina Carpenter music video?
Oh, is
From-
he?
From the ladies online and what they're saying, I think so.
Yeah. Any female fans I've spoken to about this film, they seem to be going wild for Rowan. So I think he's certified. He's a sex symbol. Horror. He's a final boy, so to speak.
Sure.
Did you know it was not his first Christmas movie, by the way?
I don't think I knew that. What did
He
it?
played young Luke in Santa Baby 2, Christmas Maybe from 2009.
Damn, I
with
must
starring
have missed that one
Jenny
somehow.
McCarthy.
Oh, well.
I don't know how that one slipped through the cracks. But,
So
Jenny
overall,
McCarthy,
yeah,
one-time sex symbol, now anti-vaxxer. What are you gonna do?
is he what? No, is he?
No, not
anti-vaxxer?
him.
No,
Jenny
Jenny
McCarthy.
McCarthy is an anti.
Oh, yeah.
I
Right.
shouldn't say. I don't know if she is anymore, but at one point she was one of the
Yeah.
people that were very vaccines cause autism, that kind of person.
Oh yes, yeah, right. 5G, etc.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Mike P. Nelson, the director who also did the Wrong Turn remake. And I'm curious if Kill Bill influenced him at all. Like the titles kind of made me feel a little bit Kill Bill-ish.
That's interesting. I'm not sure Kill Bill was a direct reference for him. Knowing Mike's taste, I think maybe he was referencing some of the stuff that Tarantino's referencing. Like he really likes like grindhouse stuff and this older sort of. But you're right. The titles do feel kind of Kill Bill in that way. But yeah, I don't know his taste. Even the way that like you're noticing the way the title cards are in the film and stuff. Everything kind of has that like burnt out film sort of texture and everything, which I really like about it. I think that's his nod to like the film you're not supposed to see in the theater kind of feel that the original captured. So
well, I remember when they used that became like popular like in the late 2000s, but it was like really digital and looked really crappy. I'm glad that they kind of like were able to evolve it to this point where it actually looks good.
Yeah. I was not in the room on the VFX side, but I was very happy with how this turned out. Whenever we're scoring, everything is temp, and so the titles were just like Helvetica on the screen or whatever. I'm like, God, I hope they do something better than that. And so seeing the titles in the theater, I was like, oh, thank fuck.
It's in Comic Sans, like when it comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the Avatar font.
Yeah.
Someone sends me a
Jody,
screenshot or text message, and
we
it's
need
in
to
Comic
know.
Sans. I can't take them seriously. Fuck that.
Yeah. All right, Jody, the world needs to know if Rowan has redeemed himself.
Fully 100%. Halloween Ends is in the past. When I think of him now, I'm going to be thinking of this movie. So yeah, this movie was great.
He wasn't the issue in Halloween Ends. It was the right.
No. I just now I can just not think about Halloween Ends anymore. It's fine. But yeah, this movie was great. I really like the original. It's actually probably one of my favorite 80s slashers just because it's so nasty. But it's trauma after trauma. Like poor little Billy is just abused through the entire movie. This one doesn't have that. I mean, you even find out Billy's parents murdered his grandpa. That's why they were there. They were trying to get the inheritance and going to murder him. So they deserve to die in this story. It was different than in the past. But yeah, I thought it was clever. I spent the whole movie up until we finally got all our big reveals. I thought Charlie was at first just a voice in his head, you know, like as he got some psychological stuff going on, but Charlie seemed to know stuff that Charlie shouldn't know. So what's happening? And then once we get the big reveal, it's like, oh, okay, Everything comes together.
Mhm.
All of the murders made sense. You know, you thought he was killing this one person for being handsy, but no, he was a murderer. Everything that had led up to that point all fit together really well. It's fun. It's a good, like, I mean, I'm gonna watch this one every December. There's no question about that. Like, I really like this movie a lot.
Nice. I'm glad you come around to Rowan. I think he's a fantastic.
Oh yeah,
actor. I
no,
mean,
he's
so
great.
good. He's so good in this movie, and
He was
it-
good in Halloween Ends. He used what he had. He did great
yeah.
job with what he was given.
Yeah.
You know?
he
No,
does
it-
manage to like walk this line where he can be a bit sinister, but he still has this kind of like boyish charm or
Yeah.
something. Like
Mhm.
it's special.
We didn't talk about the
I-
scene when they asked him to put the Santa Claus costume on. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
and the
man.
fact the voice is talking to him, and he's like, "No, I can do this. I'm okay. Like, I'll
Yeah.
figure this out."
Yeah.
I kind of loved that, like, because that was him suppressing his own inner demons and realizing, like, no, it's okay. I'm gonna do this because I kind of love this town. You know, love these people.
Mhm.
100%. I feel like that's one of the most tense scenes in the movie, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah,
it's kind of in
probably.
the middle there, but like the kid that they cast is like so cute and just like adorable. And he's just like, you're not really sure what he's capable of because
Mhm.
it's already been pretty messed up earlier. And you're like, oh my God, are they gonna do this on screen?
Yeah.
I feel like every time working on that scene, it just felt like, ugh, you know? So yeah, I like that a lot. He did, and he played it great.
I will say the grandpa from the original, like I kind of miss that energy for the grandpa.
Yeah.
I understand it's like a different take on the grandpa, but oh my god, I love the original grandpa so damn much.
Yeah. Yeah.
The actor in
You
the
can't-
original is like, all right, I have 30 seconds. I'm fucking making the most out of this 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
we're going.
100%. Yeah, you can't replicate that kind of genius, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
one of my actual favorite scenes, the way they shot it, is when when the dad dies, when the dad gets shot by the snatcher, and they have the music playing, and the camera's going down the stairs to the basement, and when they turn the corner, it like almost abruptly stops when you see them crying and holding each other. I thought that was actually a really kind of powerful scene because you're seeing that
Mhm.
humanity right there, and the
Nice.
fact that everything kind of was silent for a second, and you just see like them like in this sorrowful moment, I thought was really cool too.
Nice. That's actually another sort of Easter egg there. But that song that is going, the version of Silent Night that's
Mhm.
happening while we drift through the party there, that is actually Ruby singing. That's Ruby
Oh, shit.
Williams' voice.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and I feel like that is part of what gives it its special moment. Like there's, she's giving such an amazing performance, and then she got to sing over it afterwards as well. Really
That's
clicked.
awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move to our ratings. We do 0 to 5, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. You can do half points. Jody, why don't you start us off?
All right, 4.5. I no beating around. I love this movie. It's great.
All right, Mondo.
Nice.
Yeah, I gave it the exact same rating on Letterboxd, 4.5. And again, I was fighting with the 5, but if I have to fight with the 5, I always go a little bit lower. But God, I don't think 4.5 is a bad rating.
Not at all.
All right, Martin, this might be a little self-gratuitous for you, but
Yeah, like 2. No, I
We
mean,
didn't do Deathstalker, but
honestly, I feel yeah. I gotta make sure I never get hired again. No, I feel like this. I'll give it a more my own unique perspective here. On the page as the script, it was a 4 already. Like it was great. It was fun. It wasn't totally perfect, but there was just so much cool stuff going on
Mhm.
and so much tone on the page. And then the movie for me elevated every part of it. They did it better than it was in my imagination. So the final product of the movie, I would give a solid 4.5 as well.
Awesome.
yeah, I'm going with the hive mind, 4.5. I think I gave the original that, and this is just as good. Obviously they're two different things, but they're both freaking amazing, and I love them both. I want to watch them every year together. So
See, I
Yeah.
should always go on podcasts when you guys are revealing your reviews, so I can basically police all of you and be like, "What are you giving the movie, man?"
To be fair, Jason is generally the most negative one. And I don't even mean that. I'm not knocking on you, Jason, but he's usually more.
Yeah.
Jody and I are basically like, "Oh, you made a movie? That's at least a 2. Like, you at least made a movie. Like, we're
Yeah.
already
I
impressed."
mean, I think there's only one movie I've given like a 1 or 0 on, and we know what that
I
is.
think Jody and I have too, but like, yeah, we're generally I think we both take it at this point. We're in our 40s. I'm like, if I walk away from a movie with a big smile on my face, I had a good time. You're getting a great review. I'm not the guy that's going to nitpick technical flaws. I'm just like, like I'm also a very big style over substance guy. I think I might be the only person that put Shelby Oaks in my top 10 last year. Now I'm seeing people shit all over this movie, but I'm like, no, that movie is fucking great. I walked away from that feeling creeped out, like it's amazing. So Jody and I will defend like the worst movies, not to say this movie is bad. So we're on this podcast, we like to be positive because like it's like, even if it's not a great movie, you fucking did it though. Like, it's
Hey,
bad.
man, I
You did it.
get you. Every film is a miracle. The fact that it got made at all, and
For sure.
I'm the same way, and I get so much shit from my friends, you know, especially my cinephile friends for this, because like I'm the opposite of a hater. I am, you know, it could be a movie that I actually like didn't think was very good, but I'll focus on the couple of parts that I thought were like pretty okay, and overall I think I liked it, you know. And they'll be like, "No, it sucked. Just say it sucked." And I don't know. I like liking things. I don't know.
I mean,
You know, it's funny though. I went to the theater before I watched this movie and saw Send Help on the premiere night.
Oh,
Before I watch this, dude, I'll give you my score, and I'm in the minority on this. I'm in the minority, 2.5.
whoa,
for Send
okay,
Help.
that's hot take. I was
That is a
expecting
hot
you to be
take,
like,
yeah.
I loved it.
I know Jason's gonna like say like, yeah, we'll see when it happens. I'm gonna do a Patreon short little 5-10 minute review on this. I'll do the first few minutes spoiler free, then I'll go into spoilers. I am definitely in the minority on this, and I finally realized like there are certain things in a movie that when they do it really just take me out of a movie and make me kind of like lose interest in it. And this one did those things, but by no means though would I say like it wasn't competently made and well made.
Sure.
But that's just kind of where my brain is. Like I walked away with that movie going,
Mm.
okay.
Well, see,
And,
and
like,
that kind
I
of
watched it-
happened to me
Huh?
on this movie, where the whole transference thing took me out of it, especially having restarted the movie.
Yeah.
And then, but the movie was able to bring me back.
Yeah. So I walked out of the theater and there's a person standing on an iPhone. It's like, what'd you think of it? Everyone's like B. I was like, C-.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
like,
Hot
again,
take.
I'm not saying it's bad. Like 2.5 is not bad.
Sure.
That's not bad. That's average. Probably my least favorite Sam Raimi movie I've ever seen.
Ooh, I mean that's also a pretty high bar.
His Wizard of Oz movie.
And well, I haven't seen that, to be honest with you. But I also think that sometimes, like, again, this movie, I was pretty hyped for it.
Yeah.
And I almost think sometimes when I get hyped for a movie that it leads to disappointment.
Sure.
And there are certain things about it, which again, I can get into if you guys want to talk about it off air, or I can get to a Patreon review, but I'm not going to tell anyone not to watch it. Cause I actually, when it comes out on VOD, I'm going to watch it again because I want to look at it just through a fresh lens at that point. And I will say there are some, Rachel McAdams, though, by the way, fucking phenomenal performance.
Amazing.
Even though I didn't love the movie, I would watch it again for her performance.
Awesome. Yeah.
But I watched this afterwards. I'm gonna say it's a better movie. I'm gonna say they outdid Sam Raimi.
I mean, I will admit I am going in with sky high expectations. I haven't seen it yet, but the way it's been pitched to me, it's like, oh, it's basically Drag Me to Hell on a Desert Island. I'm like, sign me up. So
yeah, but I just wish they didn't have Drag Me to Hell level CGI.
Oh, interesting.
And I absolutely love Drag Me to Hell. I absolutely love that movie. But the CGI definitely looks like it's from 2009, which I don't think there's anything wrong with, because when the movie came out in 2009. I do think in 2025, if you're going to use if you're going to use CGI, it needs to be 2025 CGI. And be
interesting.
Better. Okay. But that's not what really killed it for me. But I can tell you guys off air. I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers, but I'll tell you.
All right.
Killed it for me off air.
Nice.
And I'll put it on our Jason. I promise you. I know he's thinking like, yeah, right. I will do. See, peel back the curtain a little bit. Like a year ago, Jason's like, can you guys each commit to doing like one Patreon review a month? And Jody and I are like, yeah, no problem. We have done 0. We did 1. We did one Stranger Things together because Jason made us. But again, I'm going to go off a tangent, but I will not discourage anyone from seeing it, because our good friend Allison from the Who's There podcast, she absolutely loved it. And I do think there's a lot of great things in the movie. There's just things from my personal taste that kind of turn me away from it. So very, very,
I'm interested to hear the details off air.
But there was also some Sam Raimi shit in there that I'm like, fuck yeah, more of this. So it was
I want, like, as long as there's like wind sound effects accompanying camera moves at certain points, like that.
Dude, there are like some Sam Raimi shots in that it just makes like those, like the Sam Raimi shots always like make my heart flutter just a little bit.
Love it. Love it.
All right, let's take a quick break for a shout out.
Hey, I'm Steve Kostansky, writer-director of Psycho Goreman and Deathstalker, and you're listening to those hunky boys over at Dads From The Crypt.
Steve.
I'll play that
Favorite
every
clip
damn week.
of all the clips.
I have like
he was
20
on the
clips, and I'm just gonna want to play that one every single time.
Yeah, he did offer to kill us in a movie, and we just couldn't make it happen.
Did
Yeah,
he?
I
Oh
think
man.
he said if we could make it to
And if we
Canada.
flew to Toronto or wherever in Canada.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, if you
let's
guys
go.
showed up on set, I think he'd find a way to put you in a rubber suit and cover you in blood for sure.
That's
I mean,
incredible.
I've been that guy. I on Cycle Goreman,
What?
the rap that finishes the film. Do you guys remember that like
Yeah.
sums up the film? So
Yeah.
that was a rap that was written by me and then rapped by our drummer Tristan with
What?
this voice pitch down and all that stuff. But in the music video for it, Lil Caesar, who's the name of the rapper, named after our favorite pizza place, is kind of like a robot alien guy who's breakdancing. So that's me in the rubber suit
Oh shit!
doing a bunch of breakdance moves and rapping at the camera.
That's awesome.
So, you know, Steve loves putting he loves pouring the goop over your head where you have to have the things in your nose, you know, and it's
Well, I just want
amazing.
if I have to shave my beard though, that's a no go.
Yeah, thankfully there is a solution to that. There's like a Vaseline thing, so they'll only mold like part of your face. But yeah, I did have to actually shave the top of my head for that.
Oh
to
really?
get, like,
Oh okay.
mold, yeah.
Well, and I'm of the opinion that most movies should end with a rap that summarizes the movie.
Yes,
Like that's my
man.
favorite thing when it happens.
That one was so
I'll
sick,
buy
dude,
my
because,
Cycle
like-
Goreman vinyl, but I have too many records.
Do you?
I have Cycle- yeah,
Oh man, that vinyl too is like that's one of the better releases we've done. I think in terms of the actual packaging, like it's really the company did such a nice job with it, the color and the weight and everything.
it's so good. I had the Deathstalker one on pre-order. It doesn't come out till April though.
Sick, yeah. The Psycho Goreman rap. Little anecdote about that was very fun for us is it's very clearly aping the end rap from the first Ninja Turtles movie, the 1990s one, right?
Yeah.
Like the TURTLE power, you know the one.
An amazing soundtrack, by the way.
Amazing soundtrack, so good. And that was a cornerstone of my childhood. I grew up on that movie. I watched it probably every weekend. Like I loved that movie, still do. And the guy who actually rapped that was, I think, kind of like a studio vocalist. He had his own career and stuff, but that was one of his first like major releases, and it went #1 on radio at that time because that movie was such a big hit. His name's MC Golden Voice, or that's what he goes by. So we went about doing our Psycho Goreman thing, whatever, released the rap, but on YouTube, MC Golden Voice, the man himself, has commented on it and said like, "Oh, I definitely hear the similarities, but like I really dig this. Good job, guys." Like,
Oh man.
oh my god,
That feels so good, dude. Like
very, very exciting. So
that is so
was-
awesome.
Man, that felt
awesome.
very, very good.
I like that tonight. Jason made sure his guitar was in good view of the.
No, we've been rearranging.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, that wasn't just
Yeah,
right
sorry.
there.
No.
You have more guitars in the shot than I do. Oh no, I got one back there. Yeah, there you go.
All right. A couple quick things. If you want to know more about the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, we do have a review that we did a month or so about that. Also, as we talked about on our Patreon, we have mini reviews, which are about 15, 20-ish minutes on more modern films. We have some for Weapons, Companion, Ugly Stepsister, Him, Together, Begonia, Good Boy, Stranger Things Season 5, and we have one for 28 years later, The Bone Temple. So check that out on our Dads From The Crypt Patreon. Now, Mondo has graciously allowed Martin to do our song of the day.
Mondo was very unprepared tonight.
I was trying to pump you up there.
Mondo has graciously allowed someone else to do his homework.
Yeah.
I'm usually a Nazi about this thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, watch out for Santa, man. He's got it out for you.
I would deserve it.
Well, there was one we were just talking about just before we went on air here that I've been listening to a lot recently, and I like to Blitz Berlin started as a punk band, so we grew up listening to hardcore and punk and all that sort of stuff. So the three of us have been playing together since high school and making punk rock music.
That's cool.
Long before we ever got into film scoring, and so we still listen to a lot of heavy stuff. And I feel like if I listen to too many film scores, again, I get sort of disillusioned with listening to the same thing all the time or the same types of writing all the time. So I love to listen to stuff that is decidedly not film score, especially really heavy shit. And I know you guys like metal and hardcore and stuff. So the band is Throne, and the album is Excessive Guilt. And if we have to choose one song, it's the first song on that record, which I can't think of what it's called now. It might be the title track. I'm not sure. But the first song on the record, Excessive Guilt by Throne, THROWN is the band. They're like Scandinavian kids who are the heaviest thing I've heard in a long time, and also kind of have some very modern, maybe like hip hop sort of influences, but not in a way that takes away from like the aggressiveness of the music at all. It's pretty badass. And one of those things you hear and you're like, the kids are going to be all right. Like it makes me proud to hear, you know.
The first song is called Guilt, actually.
Guilt.
There you go. That's the
and
one.
I love that you're like me, where I listen to a lot of music on vinyl. So I'm like, track 4 is awesome. Like, what's the song name? Like, it was a 4th song that came on while I was in my office listening to it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, exactly, because especially music like this with this kind of tempo and this kind of heaviness, it's become like a gym listen for me. And so the whole record is basically no skips. It is awesome all the way through. But yeah, I definitely lose track of what song is where. But yeah, I can pretty much recommend any song on that record. If you're into heavy stuff and you want something that sounds really fresh, this band kicks ass.
Now, when Mondo, we did the Deathstalker review, Mondo threw out a band named Castle Rat. Really, I'm still listening to them. It's really awesome.
So Castle Rat's interesting because like one thing, so I have changed my stance on gatekeep, where I'm kind of for gatekeeping in certain genres, but just in particular genres. But I think it's funny because Castle Rat is this phenomenal like doom metal throwback Sabbath era band that I hate the fact they get comparisons to Ghost, because I think they're like Ghost's first record, Opus Eponymous, in my opinion, is fucking flawless. And they went to this pop direction that I just don't care for. And not a knock on anybody that loves that. It's just not for me, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I see this happen in heavy music a lot. They have a female front person who dresses sometimes provocatively live, like she's in a Conan the Barbarian movie. And people say, "Oh, the only reason people like her is because she has a female front woman." Like, no, the music is fucking good. Like, you can have both. It can be both. It's okay. And yeah, I don't know, but Castle Rat's pretty fucking killer.
Castle Rat, man, that's amazing. I assume they're going to be dungeon from the name, but that's
So the album, the new album that came out, is called Bestiary.
Sick.
They're RPG nerds that made a record, and each song title is a name of a beast.
Love it.
It's so good.
Man, well, the very different style of music, but while we're talking about music and amazing female front woman, is some friends of mine in an amazing band called Spirit Box, who are playing the Grammys this weekend. So we're actually from the same like spot on Vancouver Island in Canada. Strangely,
that's cool.
And that band is incredible. And not that Courtney dresses provocatively whatsoever, but like, I think they've fed off of the like, oh, female front woman, like, let's see how good she is. And that woman can out-scream anybody in this business. Holy shit, she's good.
Like, they're not my cup of tea, don't get me wrong, but fuck, are they a good band? They're an awesome band, incredibly talented. And like, but again, I do hate that there are definitely, don't get me wrong, there are definitely bands out there that use that. Like, actually, the one thing I hate when you see a female fronted band and it's 4 dudes dressed in all black, like full, like long sleeve shirts and black pants, like I'm wearing now, and then the girl dressed provocatively.
Sure.
Because I think at that point you're almost like exploiting that for your efforts. But guess what? Women are allowed to be in heavy music and play heavy music and make heavy music. It's okay. And 100%. A lot of them are fucking good at it and they're passionate about it. There's a lot of great female bands. Holder from Portland now, a black metal band. She's fucking fantastic, and people still are like, it's because she's a female. It's like, nah, dude, it's because like the music is fucking good. It's okay. Or there's a lot of good. I
feel like it's one of the things like on I don't want to call it a technology level. It's like a technique level, but something has evolved in like the arena of screaming in the last 20 years in a really significant way to me.
It has, and I actually hate it. And I'm again, and this is why. And this is why, because there is as a guy who's been in black metal bands and plays death metal bands and has done that. What I don't like about it, and this might be me being a 42-year-old jackass, but it's that back in the day, people didn't know what they were doing technique wise.
Sure.
So everyone had like a really unique sound. Like if you listen to Obituary and listen to John Tardy's vocals from those first couple Obituary records versus Chuck Schuldiner from Death versus Chris Barnes from Cannibal Corpse, later Corpse Grinder Fisher, or Glenn Benton from Deicide, or fucking Attila Syhar from the first Mayhem record. They all sound so different and unique.
Yeah.
And now I think so many vocalists have this very similar cadence to how, and very similar tempos to how they do their vocals, that it sounds almost homogenized. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I just think what's going to happen is 10 years from now, they're going to figure out how to combine both those.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, I think it's definitely necessary to save your voice and to save your vocal cords.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I also think it's very much like made a lot of these modern heavy vocalists, growlers, screamers, what have you, sound alike.
Interesting.
And when like growing up in that genre and growing up with that metal, I could tell you the difference in all these vocalists like off the top of my head. Whereas now I'll hear two bands and I couldn't like, and I know people love like these modern deathcore bands like Slaughter to Prevail or Lorna Shore. And to me, those vocalists sound very much alike, almost exact. And don't get me wrong, that exists in metal too. Like there's this whole genre of like slam metal, brutal death metal, where everyone's just going like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, come on, like fuck off of that shit. Like do real vocals. But I think we'll find, like, I think we're almost there. We're like about to grab that sweet spot where people figure out how to save their vocals but also make them super unique. And I'm sure there's people out there doing it, and I'm probably not giving everybody the credit they should be, but like that's my biggest complaint is like so many bands now the vocals sound the same. And maybe that's me being an old curmudgeon, I don't know. I'm on a soapbox here because I love talking about music almost more.
I hear you. I think it's a fair complaint, totally. And I think that the people who do it really well are adding that uniqueness. But I do think that for a lot of bands that I hear popping up that I can't name, I do sometimes think for sure that the vocal approach, it's like everybody's referencing the same songs or something. Like they feel like they're in a similar music pocket or a similar screaming pocket. And like my favorite screamer of all time, this might be out of you guys' wheelhouse a little bit, I know you're more like classic metal, but is Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die, who I just love deeply.
Not my favorite band, but that dude's great. That's like a very talented band. That guy's
truly
awesome.
The most like dynamic and lyrical and just like nasty, using his voice in weird ways. Like I love him as a vocalist, and I think it's a good example of what you're talking about. You would never mistake him for anybody else.
Yeah, and that's the way thing. You should. I feel like when you hear someone's vocals, you should know who that is.
Yes,
and it's not always that way, and not every band needs that, but some bands do. When you have very similar instrumentation, that can kind of set you apart. Like I know, like and for any black metal nerd that might be listening to this, it's funny because like when Mayhem came out, everyone's like, oh man, like, but Dead killed himself and he was the best vocalist. I'm like, dude, fucking Attila was so much better than Dead was, because Attila on that first record was doing these like Roman monk chants that set those vocals apart still from most shit that's out there today. And I'm like, he was thinking ahead. He's thinking, how do I set myself apart from everyone else that's going to do this? And I really love when any band can do that. I really love that.
Totally. Agreed.
That's my soapbox.
Hey,
welcome to Screamo Talk on Dads From The Crypt.
Dude, fucking first of all, this is not Screamo Talk, Jason. This is
yeah. Let's get the genre clear.
I know. I knew that pissed you off.
I can't piss me off. I was pissed off to start the show. That's a whole other story. A buddy of mine got fired at work today. I'm very fired up about it.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. You seem like a super knowledgeable metal guy, and there's a friend of mine who grew up with Victoria who's also extremely knowledgeable about metal, and periodically I will hear a band. I heard this band Bosch the other day, or spelled kind of like, I don't know, it's an odd spelling, and I was like, I actually don't know what to call this genre, because there's deep screaming, but it's mixed so far back, and it kind of has this epic, like somewhat melodic movement in the chords, but it's also got blast beats sometimes. Like, what exactly is this? And I can't remember what he said. He's the guy who I go to who knows all the 200 micro genres. And he's like, I think this would qualify as like post metal because it sounds like ISIS, but it's not. But it has this doom element to it that they don't. And so anyway, I appreciate what I'm saying.
How do you know
I
this
appreciate
band?
your deep knowledge about metal. Yeah. Like this is great.
I can see Mono getting excited.
It'd be cool though if my knowledge actually led me to something I could do for work. Like I can't go to a job interview and be like, how many genres of metal do you want to know? Like, do you want to know the history of Norwegian black metal? I got you. But
Dude, there's got to be either like an underground venue or like a record shop that like needs you as like in a consultant capacity. So like, oh,
Hey,
hold on, I got to call Mondo on this.
If they could pay me as much as my sales engineer job goes, I don't even know what my job is. It's just a job title. I just do things. Like I have a theory that no engineer actually knows what their job is. You just go to work and do what people ask you to do and figure it out on the fly. But
can you listen to music at work? Do you get to listen to metal while you work?
I don't like listening to music while I work. It's a weird thing where it's like usually I have a well, I take that back. If I listen to music at work, it's usually soundtracks.
Sure.
Because it's more mild. Like I tend to latch on to music while I'm listening to it.
Fair.
And I forget the world that's going on around me.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
So I don't want to, like, what'll happen is I'll hear a band, like if I hear something new, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to dig into this. And then meanwhile, it's 3 hours later, and I'm still working on the same database I was working on 3 hours prior. So
I get that. Whenever I do non-music work and I can actually listen to music while I work, which is a rarity, I'll always go to like the same kind of ambient playlist or something like that.
Yeah, me too.
That's a mood, but it's not going to grab my attention so much that it's going to be distracting. That is
Stardew Valley soundtrack is like my jam when I'm at work.
That slaps. It slaps. Yeah.
All right, Jody,
anyway, we could a whole separate music podcast.
I know you guys should do a music podcast together.
I had an idea for one called Unskippable. Where my whole idea wasn't like your favorite album. Like, give me an album that has no skippable tracks.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
We should talk. Maybe we can figure this out.
Okay, yeah, man. I mean, I've right away. I've got a few, so we should. And you're probably gonna hate them, so that's fun too. So
but that's also my idea behind it. And Jason's like, can we fucking move on? We're already over an hour. But my idea behind those
Friday nights earlier.
As a guy who just enjoys music, like I will listen to albums I don't, or artists I don't necessarily like, but I still pull things out of it because I just love music. And I think that's kind of my goal with doing that, is to actually, like, I want to know what you love and I want to listen to it and talk to you about it, because I'm sure, like, even though I might not love the record, I guarantee you we're going to jive on a lot of things about it. And I love hearing people passionate about music talking about music, because that's like, we all have our, like Jody and I, for instance, Jody has a way different spectrum that I listen to, but he'll post some stuff sometimes. And I'm like, I don't like this, but God damn it, I get why Jody likes this.
All right.
And I think that's as beautiful about music in general.
Man, I love it. Hey, you guys get this Unskippable off the ground. You call me up, because I got some big ideas on that one.
Jason, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Jason's the brains behind everything. So.
Yeah, Jason's like, yeah, I'll get right on that.
Sure.
No problem.
If you can trademark that too, that'd be great. We'll work on it.
Yeah, patent pending.
Jody, give us some horror news.
all right.
This is the last
want to go
time
what?
ever have a musician on the show. He's like, fuck this.
Oh, right. This is a horror podcast. Oh, man. Okay, Jody, take it away.
All right. If you want to go see some horror in the theaters, you got all kinds of options right now. Send Help, Iron Lung, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple may still be playing in some theaters. Night Patrol is out there. In Cold Light, that's a Micah Monroe horror movie that's in theaters right now. Return to Silent Hill, if you want to go that route, it's available.
Man, that movie just popped out of nowhere. Like, they've been talking about it, they kind of stopped talking about it. And I was like, that doesn't sound good. And then I've heard nothing but bad things.
I saw a screenshot of one of the guys with a beard that definitely came off Amazon. It was just like glued on. It was very obvious.
The beard. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt, but because you played the clip of Kostansky's shout out to the podcast earlier, I spoke to Steve about this Silent Hill movie because he loves Silent Hill so much, but he also has particular tastes in movies that are maybe, less than popular, let's say. And he kind of loved it.
Okay.
That tracks.
Damn it. That means I'm going to watch it now.
Well, see, I think if you go in with the right mindset, I mean, I don't know if you guys know who Neil Breen is, but he did mention that in association with some of the choices in this film. And I'm not here to talk shit whatsoever, but I do know I'm actually giving it a positive recommendation because Steve seemed to enjoy it on its own merits. Let's say that.
Okay.
All right. That's the best recommendation I've heard for that movie yet. So
if you go in with the right mindset, you might have a good time. Maybe have a beer,
Sure. Fast forward 3 podcasts from now, and Jody and I are giving it a 5, and Jason's like, why do we watch this?
First 5.5. Yeah.
All right. Not in theaters yet, but very soon on February 6th, you also get Whistle coming into theaters with the Incan Death Whistle. It looks cool.
No,
I'm into it.
Aztec.
Sorry.
My wife bought me one of these for Christmas.
Cool.
Nice.
And we haven't seen her since.
Yeah.
On
And
Shudder,
she better be making dinner. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna cook after this is done. I'm just
Yeah. Yeah. Disclaimer.
on Shudder right now, you can check out the Addams Family's newest movie, Mother of Flies. I like all their stuff.
I liked it a lot.
The
I watched when it came
homegrown-
out. I really enjoyed it.
And one that I want to talk about, TV show. It is on FX and Hulu. It's based on a comic book called The Beauty. And the basic idea is there is an STD that makes you hot, but then it kills you. And so people are intentionally getting it because it makes them look good, but they have like a limited amount of time. And I think they actually explode, if I remember right from the comic. But like the comic, looking forward to this.
Nice. Actually, Jaquel Spivey from Queens of the Dead is in The Beauty. I've seen him
Oh,
post
no
about it a
shit.
lot. Yeah.
That's cool.
As far as trailers that have come out recently, worth talking about. First one, big one, Masters of the Universe trailer looks awesome. I'm fully in on this. When I heard that they were making one, I wasn't very excited, but after seeing what they've done with it, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm ready for it.
I was a
Skeletor is
huge
fucking
fan
cool.
when I was a kid of the 80s Masters of the Universe. Like I
Mhm.
literally wore out my VHS tape
Amazing.
and I watched the cartoon religiously. I haven't seen the cartoon in a long time, so I really need to familiarize myself.
Have
But
you watched
this
the new
trailer?
Netflix ones?
That new
What's up?
cartoon's great.
Have you watched the Netflix cartoon?
I've heard good things. I have
Dude,
heard
it's
good
great.
things, but-
Tony Todd's in it too.
Oh, well, there you
cool.
go.
Masters
Yeah,
of the
it's really
Universe
good.
Revelations.
Sick.
Yeah, what I heard in reaction to some people was that this new one looked too CGI. But I'm like, no, lean into it. It's based off a cartoon. You don't want this to look too realistic.
It reminded me of the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out a couple of years ago. Like
That
it
was
was
really
very
good.
playful, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fantastic trailer. I'm really looking for this.
Another trailer that just released is the trailer for Dolly, about a man in a big doll suit who's killing people. It looks like a kind of a throwback slasher, starring Max the Impaler, who big wrestling giant man. So yeah,
No. A wrestling person.
wrestling person. Okay, thank you.
Non-binary.
Oh,
Thank you.
all right. Nice.
All right, another one that
Wait,
just
wait.
had a trailer.
Hold on, and it stars Sean William Scott.
Really?
Before?
Oh, it does. I
does?
forgot about that.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah,
I was torn
I
on
will-
Max.
I watched-
Max Impaler is the coolest name ever. I'm just going to point
yeah,
that
that
out.
is cool.
Max
That is-
Impaler also wrestles in Japan and is great because they're this hulking person. They're wrestling a women's promotion, and they're such an awesome character. If people out there listening don't know Max the Impaler, look up Max the Impaler. They're so
Unreal.
fucking cool.
Love it.
Yeah, I watched. Jody sends us the trailers. I watched them, and I will say I feel like the trailer gives away a little too much of what's happening. So
Mm.
it
Someone's
looks
gotta be
interesting. It
negative.
looks creepy, but I do feel like they show a little bit too much.
Sure. Another trailer that just dropped was for Blood Covenant, which is an anthology movie. Micah Monroe's in it. Joe Carey is in it. Looks pretty cool. It's someone telling stories, and with each story, like they lose a part of their body or something like that. I don't know the full concept, but yeah, it looks interesting. Another one that I have no idea what it's about, even after watching the trailer, is Lens Keeper.
I'm so fucking excited for Lens Keeper.
Yeah,
God
it's
damn
Bloody Disgusting described it as Lovecraft meets Fulci meets Barker. So like
Okay.
crazy effects with the Barker stuff, but also Fulci. It's
dude,
It-
it's
a vibe kinda
100%.
movie.
It's 100% like a love letter to the Beyond. Even
Yeah.
the end where they bring up the title card is legit the intro to the Beyond, where the fire comes up and the title card comes up in almost the same font. I am
Cool.
so fucking amped for this, but it's just shopping to markets like in Europe in the next couple months.
Oh.
So I don't think it's a movie we're gonna see hit our market for at least another year.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I am like, it's on my list as yeah.
Hopefully it does some horror fest this year, maybe. Or
God, I
some,
hope so.
film festivals. That'd be cool. Nice.
God, I hope so. I'm so stoked for this.
Yeah, man.
All right. Two last news items. One is a sad one. Want to mention that Katherine O'Hara passed away today at 71. She's great. She's been
Man.
great in everything. So
Legend.
big loss.
Yeah, that
She's
one
in-
really stings because like she's such America mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home Alone. And then
Tales from the Crypt.
she, Yeah, she was in season 6, episode 1, I believe.
Let
Tales
the
from the Crypt.
punishment fit the crime.
Yeah, great
Mhm.
performance in that one. And then she's the voice of Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then Beetlejuice, is an all-time classic, and it's one of those movies I share with my daughter that she really likes. So, and then was so amazing on Schitt's Creek too.
So
I think-
good.
I never watched it, sadly.
She does the crowing bit. It kills me every
Oh
time.
my god, yeah, that whole subplot with the Crow movie is so good.
Yeah.
My favorite tweet today was Death took the wrong Home Alone 2 actor. Take that as you wish.
If you want to see a really touching tribute to Catherine O'Hara, follow Macaulay Culkin on Instagram. He's a good follow anyway, but he posted a really nice thing for her. And finally, last piece of news: the Chattanooga Film Festival has just announced their first wave of their films that are coming out for their 13th year. One of the big things that I'm excited for, because Mondo and I will be going, Joe Lynch is going to be there, and he's going to be hosting a screening of Friday the 13th Part 6 and freaking Heavy Metal, which is a movie I still love because it looks like it was made by a 13-year-old sense of like movie making. It's big and silly and ridiculous, and yeah, I love Heavy Metal so much.
Amazing.
That's another movie over the past year I showed my child for the first time because they came to my house for dinner. I think my wife was out of town at the time. Like, let's watch something cool. So we watched Heavy Metal and they loved it. And
awesome.
when you can show a 22-year-old in 2025 a Heavy Metal and they love it, it's good.
Man, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm excited to see that on a big screen for the first time.
That's awesome. Friday the 13th Part 6 is turning, I think, 40 this year.
Yes.
So
and Heavy Metal's turning 45, I think, if that's
or 40. Okay, I can't do math right now.
No. Nightmare or Friday the 13th is 40. Heavy Metal is also having an anniversary. That's why they're doing those two.
Nice.
Yeah, well, there's a screening in LA in February with the director. And number 6 is my favorite Friday movie, so I definitely want to go to that.
Yeah,
Killer.
That's, as you can see, the Jason Lives.
Yeah.
Replica.
If I could contribute to the movie news at the
yeah, please.
Absolutely.
There is another film that we scored that I think you guys might really like that's coming out. It'll be on digital for Valentine's Day down here, so it's coming out in a couple of weeks. It's called Sweetness, and it premiered at South by Southwest. It's a thriller. It's basically, the best way to describe it is it's like Misery by way of Jawbreaker. It's this obsessed teenage fan who kidnaps the drug addict singer of her favorite band, convinced she's going to save him, and then it gets very fucked up from there.
I love it.
But it's a very unique, very cool thriller, a debut feature from a director named Emma Higgins, and it's a great time. So if you track that guy down, I think you guys might enjoy it.
It's been playing at film festivals, right?
Yeah, I did some film
I've heard.
fest.
I think friend of the podcast, Kimberly from Fangoria, I think she talked about it.
It could have been. She I think may have been at the South by premiere.
Or Fantasia,
they were
something like that. Yeah.
People who've seen it really, really dig it. I think it feels like one of those movies. It's kind of singular. It has really its own world, its own rules, its own tone, and I think it's pretty cool.
It reminds me of was it The Loved Ones? I think it was New Zealand movie.
Yeah, Loved Ones is crazy.
Yeah,
Loved Ones is pretty fucked up.
Nice.
I do.
I rewatched Misery a couple weeks ago. God, that movie is so perfect.
What an amazing movie. Totally.
Movie.
Oh, the hammer to the foot, man. I can never unexperience that.
I always thought it was interesting because in the book it's a blowtorch to the feet.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
No, it's an axe followed by a blowtorch.
Oh, but to cauterize it. I somehow think the hammer is worse.
Yeah.
Something about seeing it jerk to the side like it does.
Not just that. I think as humans, right? Like I cannot fathom what an axe to my foot would feel like, followed by a blowtorch. But I've definitely accidentally kicked my ankle on a fucking door jam or something like that.
Yeah. I've stubbed my toe hard enough that I wished I was dead. So it would be like that, but even worse,
I do jiu-jitsu. I've been fucking knee barred. I thought my knee was gonna rip out, and that was fine. But one time I kicked my foot in a milk crate. I was just ready to kill myself. This is the worst thing I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah. So 100%. You ever get yourself right in the ankle with a skateboard?
Ooh.
Nightmare. Anyway.
All right. That's all the news I have.
All right. To close this out, I actually have a piece of dad advice.
Oh, God.
You know, when you're living, you know, when you're married or you have a partner, and you know they might watch stuff that you don't really care about, but you just kind of sit with and you absorb it through osmosis. I highly recommend that people lean into that, because my wife started watching Bridgerton. I couldn't care less at the time, but she just kind of watched it, and over time, like, it just kind of like sunk in. And now there's a new season that just came out, and now we're like, okay, let's get together and watch the new season of Bridgerton.
Dude, this is me with Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm obsessed. Prue Leith is retiring, and I like felt moved by that. Like, I can't, Prue? She can't.
I don't watch that show very often. What I like about it is I like reality shows, competition shows where everyone's just like cool.
Mhm.
Like I like Gordon Ramsay as Next Level Chef,
Sure.
and I've loved every season because everyone's just like, oh no, like you lost, but you won. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like shows where everyone's just like, I don't like conflict. I don't need conflict in my. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, Bake Off it's so quintessentially British that way. Like, there's nobody's hating each other. They're all like, "Oh, I'm bummed," but like, at least this person who I really like is having a good day. Like,
the person wins, like, it's like, I'm sorry that I won. Like, I apologize.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Well, it's nice to see people actually care for each other and lift each other up. You know,
Totally.
Like, it's so. And in America, we're all about win. It's just so nice to see the opposite. But
I like
my point is that, you know, find something that you might not really be interested in, but you can find something to gleam onto. Then you might actually find you like it.
100%.
Jason, I can 100% relate, because a couple nights ago, my daughter started watching the Teen Wolf show. I mean, it's definitely CW teeny stuff. And I was just sitting over, you know, the other side of the room with my iPad doing some stuff, and stayed for a little while. And now we're watching it together because I've got invested in the teen drama. You know, sometimes you get sucked into something if you give it enough time.
I think that's great advice, Jason, because I think we're all victims of our own prejudices, if you want to call them that. Like, we all have preconceived ideas of what we're going to like and not like. And a lot of times it'll stop you from plugging into things that might be great. It might change your perspective. It might give you new ideas. So I feel like keeping an open mind to other people's points of view that's great advice.
This is how my wife goes
I mean, you
goes
kind of
pro
know
wrestling
it
with me
because
and
I
watches
went
pro
sports.
wrestling with me. Was that great?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is how my wife watches pro wrestling with me and goes to pro wrestling shows with me, because she latches on the characters she loves. And we're like, yeah, that character's great. Let's go watch the show.
Exactly. Nice.
But not WWE. Those guys are dickheads with their Saudi Arabia connections and their here we go, Jason. And their right-wing bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all about the indies and AEW. Just give me in Japan wrestling. Japan wrestling is the bee's knees.
Sick.
Why?
All right. Well, I think that wraps up another episode. Martin, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people follow you and Blitz Berlin's work?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. It was great. Blitz. Yeah. I mean, it's at Blitz Berlin on most things. If you Google Blitz Berlin, it'll come up with all the stuff. Instagram, I guess, is where we do the most posting, where we're the most consistent. So yeah, give us a follow on there. And we got a bunch of movies coming out this year, so there'll be lots to talk about.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yes. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone for listening. I would really appreciate if everyone in our audience would give us a rating, a review on iTunes, a rating on Spotify, a like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at Dads From The Crypt Talk on TikTok. And with that, I thank you for listening to Dads From The Crypt.
Follow Dads From The Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.